Good evening, and welcome to a brand new season. This is season 3 of Allports Motorsports SuperCars NZ V8 series. We are checking in with the Div 1 crew tonight. A monumental number of registrations for the league this season, topping just over 100 registered drivers moving forward. And we've got some exciting stuff coming. Broadcasting Lounge is bursting at the seams a little bit this evening. We've got Shane joining me once again in the hot seat beside us, and Wayne's on door duty, and we've got Corey outside knocking, and he'll be popping in and out from time to time to say g'day. So, how are we doing there, Shane?
Yeah, good, thanks, Doug. Excited to be here at the start of another new season for SuperCars NZ and the Allports V8 Championship. Exciting things going on at SuperCars this season. We've got a few different sponsors coming on board as we've changed up the way we do things. We'll obviously talk more about that as the week goes on, but tonight it is all about Allports, and thank you to Allports for coming on board for another season to support the V8 Championship. And we're here at Bathurst for some exciting heat racing tonight.
Yes, indeed. So what have we got as far as timings, distances, or laps that the guys have got to complete tonight, mate?
So first race tonight will be a 9-lapper, and then they'll go into a 13-lap feature. All up, that's going to create 130 k's for them tonight around this iconic circuit. So hence the Allports 130 at Bathurst.
Wicked stuff. And Wayne's jumped into the broadcasting lounge with us, which is a bit of a rarity on Tuesday nights. But welcome to you, Wayne. It's round 1 for a brand new season.
Yeah, looking forward to it. You guys all done a brilliant job setting this up. It's been a huge task over week 13, probably the hardest week we ever work in iRacing. Yeah, brilliant, and start off with Mount Panorama, our home track, and yeah, can't wait for, what is it, turn 2, lap 1.
You got your money
to,
on possibly a bit of a pile up down there, but a fresh new season, tensions with some existing battles and some new people joining into the mix.
Oh, it's great, isn't it? It's great. Across the top of the mountain, yeah, looking forward to it. Really. That's why I'm here. Want to see that first lap.
Should
And
be.
Evening, Corey. And 31 guys out there tonight as well, so that's going to be 31 guys all piling into turn 1 and then turn 2 and trying to sort themselves out as they get over the top of the mountain there, so that's going to be crazy.
There we go. So that's
Rehan.
yeah, welcome back to young Rehan. Or actually, we'll put the full names up there on the list so people can see who we've got going on, and we'll do a bit of that as well. That'll give people an idea of how much is longer left in qualifying. Just a little bit over 3 minutes to go on that one, which obviously once we hit that magical 15-minute mark, because we're doing heat races tonight, that'll be their lap done and dusted. So these guys out there at the moment trying to push to get as close as they can up into the grid order. Here's one of those cars here now, out there doing its thing.
The ultimate warrior himself.
It is indeed. Sean had an awesome finish up to his season, the last season, and he's got a new number on that car there. Don't be fooled, he hasn't lost the number 8. That's still part of his original numbering there, but that is certainly a magical looking number 2 on the side on his car there.
Yeah, proud moment for Sean, starting the league, originally with us, and here he is out there doing it, living the dream, so well done, man.
Yeah, I think the highlight of Sean's life was finishing P2 last season.
That's the first loser too, isn't it?
Yeah, we know.
And a new liveried vehicle there for Team SDI as well.
Yeah, looking beastie. He'd be loving cutting laps around here.
He certainly does, and he's going to go and give it one last shake of the fist before calling it quits. We've also got a welcome back to this gentleman here, who's been sort of a wee bit absent for the last few seasons gone by. But Mike Robinson, welcome back. He's without his normal livery there, but running the Monster Energy one. Hopefully he can get his car to go a bit further than what the Monster Energy vehicle did at the Sandown 500 the other day.
Yeah, Mike Robinson, legend here at SuperCars NZ. Won a few championships over the years, and yeah, very fast. Definitely a guy to watch if he jumps in if he gets dedicated this season. It'll be good for Connor and all those fast guys to have some real battles.
I think Mike was involved in the only ever tied championship in Supercars NZ as well, and we sorted it out with a shootout here at Bathurst.
Yeah, that was brilliant, wasn't it?
And I think was it Mike that came out on top of that one in the end?
Yeah, it was.
It
Yep,
was,
yep,
yeah.
yep.
Is that Mike
Look at him
and
pushing that
Willem,
limit.
is it?
Yeah, it was with Willem. Yeah, that was a classic moment and a good way to sort the championship.
Oh,
There
it
are
was so good.
plenty of other choices, but why not head to head, one on one? Mount Panorama, Supercars
Awesome way
NZ.
to die. Heck yeah.
Love to find that clip again.
Yeah. Here's another number 2 car out here, and we'll let Shane let the people at home know what's up with this one.
I feel like you're throwing me in the deep end, Doug.
So Shane, what do you know about Mackenzie Stewart and the number 2 on his car?
I know he's a GT3 racer.
Yes.
I don't know why he's got the
What do
number 02 on
you
his
know?
car.
What do you know, Doug?
Well, as far as I'm aware, he shouldn't even have a number 2 on his car at all. It should be number 1 from the GT3 season last year. So.
Well, this is V8s, not GT3s.
I know, but he could be running the 01.
Look, take it outside.
Wayne has spoken.
Alright, who's left out there?
That's it, no? They're
Yeah,
all
we're good enough, I think.
getting ready to grid, so...
Very cool. How's the sound check, Corey? Is it
Perfect, mate.
wicked? There you go, Sean. Sound check done as well.
The big tick for the boss.
Alright, here we go. How exciting is this?
So
9 laps. Cold
Young
tyres.
young Rehan taking out spot number 1 for us. He well and truly had the number 1 plastered onto the front of his car with us there for a few seasons, and for good measure as well. Very, very fast young boy from Aussie, and has a great support team behind him with his father Laseth, who will be glued to another machine sitting right behind him, and he'll be giving him all the ins and outs of the data and what people are doing on different laps, and helping him out with some strategy and keeping that young kid's head cool going into it. So
Also another couple of championship owners, isn't he?
yep.
Anyway, better scroll down the grid.
Well, so Connor Nixon, the only one that hasn't joined us just yet, but sitting there in the 3rd spot, Mike Robinson. Another one, a new one, teammate of Connor Nixon, is Zachary Vlashblom here. In 4th, Josh Banks has taken out spot number 5. Jack Grunwald Jr. returning with PSR. He's taken out spot 6. Taylor Mitchell there in 7th. Simon Heddershide with his brother Daniel there in 8 and 9. And Macca there in 10th as the green flag drops and the guys are underway.
The round's got off to a flyer. He's been able to gap Connor by a car length down into turn 1 and then take off down Mountain Straight. All settling down into single file. We've got Jack Gronewell going side by side with Josh Banks, I think, at the moment. Down in towards turn 2. Do they sort it out down there?
Couple of 2 wides,
Followed
teammates.
nicely. Yeah, so one of the header shots getting shuffled out and dropping back there. SDI car, Sean McNamara getting involved in that as well.
Should be back and look at that data later on, but yeah. Still reasonably clean, lot better than what I thought. 30 odd cars on track, Mount Panorama, lap 1, cold tyres.
Yeah, looks like they've managed to get themselves settled into single file. I think we've actually lost a car from the registrations we had tonight. James Anderson hasn't been able to join due to some gear failure, so we're down to 30 cars.
Stomping down the mountain. What a wicked view. Look at all that horsepower.
There we go. Pretty close gaps between everyone at the moment. No one really putting too much pressure on one another. Josh here with a bit of a draft with Jack Gronwald for P5 and 6, and there was a swap of positions for them off the start. Zachary Vosblum there getting a little bit wide. And these two here are absolutely glued to each other coming down into the final turn.
So Jack a little bit conservative on the outside there. They themselves to get outbraked by the car on the dirty line there.
Taylor Mitchell running a new livery on his vehicle there as well, the car 37. Still got the jump flex stuff sitting on there, but maybe a new sponsor indicating some changes for him going forward into his own motor racing career in the BMW series starting up shortly. Got Roger Forbert here sitting in P12 with one of the new Misfits liveried vehicles. They've all gone for a gorgeous monster green for this series, moving away from what was the iconic red, which was very similar to the Shell V-Power red. So a lot of people say green's not a good colour for race cars. So before I make that a true statement, I'm going to find someone else to watch.
Have a look at those Simplex cars, one hunting down Sean Macca.
Yep, so we've got Dion DeGraaf here sitting just in behind Sean McNamara. Both of those guys moving up one spot respectively. So Dion doing his best to see what he can do to unsettle Sean as they come around out of I always want to say Foster's elbow. It's the only way I remember it.
Forest elbow.
This
That
will be
one.
it. Yep. Here we go, down the graph. Kind of on straight. Sean McNamara neck and neck. Sean's just maybe buttoned off a bit to let him go.
Yeah, it's always tricky getting two cars side by side, and we saw obviously Dion getting the run and Sean mature enough to recognise that he'd probably lost that position and just buttoned out and made sure they both got through there nice and cleanly.
Another Simplex car doing the mucky in the background.
Oh, I was going to say there was some tight battles happening there, and there was unfortunate time to click onto Craig because he was just down on the inside of these guys here.
Long way to pit lane too for that car.
Yeah, Brody Scott, car 212, he's coming in to grab his pit stop early, followed in by Peter Vanderberg there in a monster green car. Xavier's not had a good run there. He's been sitting in the pit lane now for nearly a minute 12. And we've just had Jason Cossey pop in after a crash with Sean McNamara name popping up in that one too. And so there's actually Macca's car all ripped, roasted and toasted. So we'll have a look at that data very soon. There's a bit of a hot battle happening here up the front from P4 down to 8. Nice bit of a train, and I'll have a look at where that might have unfolded.
Their way down the mountain there.
Oh, and big one. Jack Gromwald's parked it sideways into the wall.
nice and patient there, waiting for guys to go past, flicks it around, goes into the wall to make sure he doesn't end up on the racing line.
Yeah,
if everybody else
relative
comes through.
starting to launch on him.
No, he's done a real good job there. He's given himself a bit more damage by spinning it into the wall, but I think that was the safest way to go about that. If he'd gone the other way, he probably would have landed on the racing line with more cars coming through there around that blind corner. That's two side-by-sides through the kink of the chase.
Simon Heddershot and Taylor Mitchell there.
And Simon able to get by in the Simbex car in behind, able to get that move done as well.
And then we've had Taylor and Dion both pull off into pit lane to grab some gas and a fresh set of tyres. So compulsory pit stops again this year for the boys.
We've got a Division 2 update.
Yeah, cool. Give that to us.
We've currently got a lot of pit stops going on. We've got Quinn Wilson, Luke Bradley, Caleb Beecroft, Nick Bakey, Garrett Ecclestone, Tom O'Connor, Daniel Johnston, Ross Watson, Jono Gibson, and Shane Ewan. So your top 10.
Nice. Good bunch of guys there as well.
Simon
Yeah, that's
Heddershot
right.
getting out muscled by Josh Banks there as Josh managed to get up the inside into Griffith's Bend there.
Dud and Leon here having a battle with one of his old
Awesome photo there.
with one of his old favourites, Daniel Nolan. So those guys both progressing up from Div 2 two seasons ago up into Div 1, and it's awesome to see that these guys still finding each other out there on track to have some battles. But if they're not careful, it's going to allow Cole Buchan to move in onto the back of this and potentially capitalise off one of their errors as we are working our way towards end of lap 4 of 5.
Battle at the front is getting super tight. Connor have been able to stay with Rehan, and he's just been able to close the gap up now, and he's all over the rear wing, drafting down Conrad straight. He's going to pull out.
Making the move. Rehan holding his line.
Yeah. Oh, bit of relocking from Rehan. That's going to allow Connor back down the inside, but Rehan has the inside again.
Can you imagine what that steering wheel was doing to keep control of that car? Far out.
I have a feeling with a guy like Rehan, he's probably actually not put a lot of movement into it. Those really quick guys seem to have the ability to make those corrections with just the smallest amount of wheel movement, and almost just holding it straight to get the car back under control as Sean McNamara emerges into this battle out of the pits.
Okay, boys.
So
A little bit surprised actually that Connor didn't dive to the pits after he wasn't able to pull that pass off, being that we are pretty much around that halfway mark now.
It's almost going to be a guarantee that Rehan will come in on the next one anyway, but it could have been to Connor's benefit, seeing the move didn't pay off at the end, towards the end of that lap, to come into the pits.
Sean's had a big moment there and behind.
Yeah, do what he needed to do and see if he could capitalise in a undercut position moving in towards the end. But glued to each other they are.
Yeah,
Other ones who are glued to each other is happening here at P10. Daniel Heddershaw, Bruce Tannock, Simon Heddershaw, and Evan Young.
Oh, Bruce goes around. Just clipped one of the Heddershaws there. That was Simon, I think, in behind.
There you go, and keeping out of the drama there. Connor certainly working his car. See if he can stay with him. Not as close as what he was before, and Rehan just doing what he can do to try and break that little bit of toe, give himself a little bit of breathing room coming down into the braking point, but certainly not much in it when you're looking at it only a couple of hundredths of a second in it.
Yes,
Mike
very
Robinson
interesting. I've been keeping an eye on this battle all race, and initially when Connor was able to stay with Rehan, I thought maybe Rehan was just doing a bit of management of the tyres, but obviously as we get into the pit stop phase and Connor's right there, and he's blowing the engine. He's blowing the engine on the way in. He's going to have to coast to his box. Or has he just hit the wall because he still looks to be... he's gone to the back of Rehan. That's what's happened.
Yeah,
He did,
that's
yeah.
right.
This will be an interesting one because if Connor wasn't able to address his speed enough before the line, but Rehan had, and he's created contact with Rehan, is there a potential that he could have given Rehan a speeding and pit lane infringement?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Has Rehan not ticked fast repair? He's still
Yeah,
missing.
Rehan.
Oh no, he hasn't got fast repair ticked, and he's sitting there doing the repairs. Oh no.
It's
Or
not a good
I
start,
was one,
Philip.
yeah.
No,
Yeah, or he's been.
wing's still missing. His wing's still missing. He's sitting there doing repairs. Unless it is waiting for the penalty to clear before it will do those repairs.
It'll repair
So
the
we're
car.
just at
yeah.
40 seconds now, so with
That's
the
a
pit
good
stop
little
of 10,
hack,
se-
though,
10,
eh?
s-
Give the
10,
guy
10
in front a little
seconds.
Sorry.
We're at 48, 49. Here we go. So he did. So he ended up picking up a speeding and pit lane infringement due to that contact with Connor potentially.
But also not getting those repairs, so not having fast repairs ticked and picking up that penalty by the looks of it.
Yeah. So
Extremely unfortunate.
I mean, there was definitely contact, but it is hard to say whether or not Rehan was under the speed limit himself as he crossed the line. It's too 50-50 for us to say either way. I'm only suggesting this because we've had a couple of people in the comments section suggesting that there should be a penalty around that. And again, as we have done in the past, any and all penalties will be addressed after the fact. The drivers have the ability to put in their concerns and protest, and that'll be one that will certainly be sent through to us for review, but we'll see what happens moving forward with that.
Yeah, it'll certainly be one for the decision maker. My view on it there is if Rehan was already speeding and Connor managed to hit him, then surely Connor would have received a penalty as well. So I would suspect that the contact has probably caused the penalty for Rehan, but it'll have to be looked at and a decision will be made.
Yeah, there'll certainly need to be a review of a multitude of different camera angles from in-car with telemetry and bits and pieces otherwise to suggest that he was certainly under or doing that speed limit before hitting the control line, and it was due to the contact that accelerated him further forward. Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. But what's happened though? So Connor is currently P1, but he has got Mike Robinson only a touch of a second behind him there in P2, and there's a bit of a gap back to Zachary here in P3. So Dion's moved himself up 7 spots into P4, and he's got Taylor Mitchell hunting in behind him. And watching his mirrors for Josh Banks sitting behind him, currently P6 in the Allports fast lane. Mustang there. Now I'm pretty sure these are brothers, not father and son, but I could be wrong. Daniel and Simon. Someone want to clarify?
What's the dad's name?
They're brothers.
Brothers.
Your brother.
Brothers,
Okay.
okay.
Cool. So
Yeah.
so there's one of them, and
Good,
that's Daniel.
good battle.
And there's Simon in behind him. He must be the uglier of the two because he's gone and put a car as his profile picture.
It's a good shot.
I think I know what I'd prefer to look at, eh?
Definitely that.
Yeah, that's right. That there. Well
It's
done,
a
Corey.
it's a nice view and his reflection on his glasses though.
Yes. There we go. So they're looking pretty cool. That always enjoy seeing team cars out there doing it, and that fully floored livery has always been one that stands out well, and yeah, cool one to see up on the stream for those guys.
Yep, and they live same vicinity, same town as Manfield racetrack in
There you
North
go.
Island here.
One
There we
of
go.
one of the best tracks in New Zealand, in my opinion, as far as technicality and viewing wise.
naming.
Yep.
Manfield.
Yeah. Speaking of manly mans, here's one. Mr. Greenhall. Currently P14 up 6 spots for him.
Wow, that's
Property
cool.
Edge Mustang. I always tell him he'll probably go faster if he drove a Commodore, but he's just not. It's just not worth taking out. I did say to him. I said, look, if it means coming forward and someone sponsoring you to buy the car and paying to get someone to do the delivery on the Commodore, that I'd do that for him. He wouldn't even have to worry about the cheeseburger fee at the end.
You know he's got about 1,000 Ford scaled model V8 supercars, eh?
Yeah, I've seen a few. I've seen a few of those in his little glass cabinets, but
You can throw him some sponsorship, but yeah, probably ain't gonna happen.
That's that. And our one of our favourite Aussies in the 420. There he is. That's him. Slim Jim Dane Northdirth there. Helmet under his arm.
Yeah, well done, Dane. Massive supporter of Supercars NZ. Always keeping the Facebook page up to date, and he's also always loading races, practice races for our main events. So, Legion, bloody cool.
Yeah, no, never want for ask anything from him. Just super passionate about racing and iRacing and the Supercars NZ Community League and helping people out. So, always a good
White
guy
flags,
to talk to.
white flags.
Some stuff.
And gentlemen, it's this week is actually Mental Health Week, Mental Health Awareness Week.
Sure is.
So,
Day 2 of it.
It is, yeah. So make sure you talk to your mates. That's the best thing. Talk, and that's one thing Dane does a lot of. We can assure you. And that's
Talk.
the best thing to do.
Yes, he does.
Alright, what have we got? 0.8 of a gap between Mike Robinson and Connor Nixon.
What's happening there? Oh, don't stress,
Mike-
Wayne. It's all good,
Oh,
mate.
Mike Robinson knows how to get it done, so it'll be interesting to see.
Just because
he
you
can-
saw the white flag pop up and you don't get them on the GT3 streams doesn't mean that I didn't see it.
Connor's just been able to stretch the legs over the top of the mountain here though, just about out to a second now, so I think as long as he can keep it nice and tidy down the hill, I think he should just about have him covered.
Yeah, he's
we've
probably
seen-
just done enough to cover that. But if we look back when we were talking about them earlier, there was a 5 second, just under 5 second gap to P3, and that's now been extended
and he's
out
Connor's hit the wall.
to 9
the wall.
seconds. So
Normally knocks you, buddy. Steering out.
He's tried to do a, was it Jim Richards that did that and shot off into the trees there?
oh yeah,
Alright, what's happening?
Coming down into the space. It looks like he's managed to get away with that little moment into the wall. Ran a little bit wide there, but only one corner left for Mike Robinson to try and get past if he wants to, and I think
oh, that's tight.
down the graph around the outside of Josh Banks as Connor's coming across the line now to hold on for the win. Might get him very close in the end, but not quite close enough.
Dion and Josh still battling it there up into the last corner. Has Josh done enough to cut in underneath him? It looks like he might have.
Oh, it's close.
Oh, it's
I
not
think Dion's just
0.02
grabbed
of
it.
a second. Well done, great racing for those guys. I heard an engine blow in the background, and there we go. So still a few more players to come across the line, but top 10 for tonight.
Oh,
first
Blake,
race.
super out of control over the line.
Just got a tap from the car behind.
Of course, the finish line's actually a bit further up the road than what we were looking at there. The riding across the road is the start line. The finish line's back
Yeah.
under the bridge here.
Shane McLeod, actually hadn't noticed his name out there tonight. Sorry I wouldn't get you on the start of that one, but moved up 6 spots from where he started to P22 to finish it up. Bruce Tannock, after rotating earlier, finishing down 7 to 23. Stefan Adams and Leon Weir rounding it out at the back for us. Coming through towards the end, it's certainly not over, and Leon's prepared to take an extra spot. Stefan's going to hold him out wide. Inside line coming in through there. Stefan had to concede.
Yeah, Leon managed to go right around the outside in the first part of the chase and get the inside line for the second part.
Stefan saying thank you for a cool battle there. Either that or read between the lines over top of the steering wheel. Awesome racing. Look at that. So that was what, a total of 30 cars for that opening round. Heat 1, Div 1.
How many in
Damn.
Div 2, Corey?
There's 31.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
just trying to get back in after having a couple of technical issues.
So 60 odd cars on track racing V8s across Mount Panorama tonight. So want to get involved, you better hurry.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we
If
had
you've got,
100.
a pretty good lineup of cars to choose from too. If you want to go super fast or sort of fast or really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
we
do,
had
they-
100. Sorry, Doug, you go.
No.
Yeah,
know what
so we had 100.
Ba, 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 ba.
We had 100 guys sign up this season, so very cool. Heaps of guys getting involved. Obviously, some guys will be doing the GT3s and not the V8s. Some will be doing the V8s and not the GT3s. So numbers won't always quite hit that 100 across all servers for the week. But great to see so many great numbers, and hopefully we should be able to maintain a higher level of turnout throughout the season.
Yeah, and obviously you mentioned it at the beginning of the stream for this season. It's had a bit of a name change. It's the Allports Motorsport V8 series. What else is happening around the channels?
Yeah, so we've got a change with the GT3s. MRP coming on board to support that, so that's going to be the MRP GT3 Championship, and they're also backing our new Wednesday night series, the MRP LMP3 Championship, which takes over from the TCRs that were running last season.
Cool.
And then our usual Friday and Saturday Piston Cup nights, Simbak's getting involved with supporting that. So.
And I've heard that one's had a bit of a dynamical change as well. The Piston Cup series moving forward, it's slightly longer than usual.
Yes, and Nick's going to run that over 2 seasons, so it's going to be a 26-week championship, and at the end of that, whoever's got the most points will be crowned the championship. So it's been set up to, I guess, encourage more people to keep showing up if they have to miss a night or two with Piston Cup being a longer championship. There's more time for guys to get their points back if they do miss a few nights, and
Cool.
yeah, encourage them to keep showing up through the course of the season.
Awesome. And we've got some cool things coming up at the end of the season as far as some prizes and prize money and random prize draws. If do you want to give a quick readout of that for the folks at home listening, and hopefully so our sinks into our driver's head exactly what they're playing for.
I'll have to find that information for you.
I can fill in a bit of time. I have a bit of a update from Div 2.
Yeah, cool. Let's hear what happened there, Corey.
So we got the top team for Div 2: Quinn Wilson, Derek Lovegrove, Luke Bradley, Nick Bakey, Caleb Beecroft, Gerald Ecclestone, if that's how it's said, Chris Zapasich, that's a good one too, Scott McKenzie, Bill Kilgore, and Tom O'Connor rounding out your top 10.
Go, Bill!
Yeah.
Yeah, go Bill.
And
And
everybody
Tom, of
else.
course,
That's
being
awesome.
a
Yeah.
teammate of mine.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Top
it.
10 Supercars NZ.
And does it appear that the remaining 20 drivers, no one's had a sook and left for round one?
By the looks of it, you've got 31 cars finished Heat 1, so there was 35 in here.
Okay. Awesome.
I think
Really,
one of
really
them
cool.
has left this server and gone to the other server, being a bit quicker.
Oh, yep.
Alright, I'm going to leave you legends to it. Cheers, guys. You're bloody awesome. The old MRP LMM P3 bloody ABCs.
Cheers,
you
So,
Wayno.
sorry, Barry. We'll work on that with them.
I'll see you on Thursday, mate. Leave the key under the mat.
you know your stuff, and it's good to see, and yeah, really happy.
Me neither.
Right.
Cheers, Wayno.
Later,
See
Zach.
you, mate.
So,
So to answer your question from earlier, Doug, so at the
Yeah.
end of the season, first place is going to get 100 iRacing dollars and a trophy. Second
wow.
place is going to get 70 iRacing dollars, and third place will get 50 iRacing dollars. And
Cool.
there will be a random prize given out to someone who has completed, I believe it's 90% of the season to be eligible.
Okay.
Yeah, 90% of the season to be eligible, and the winner of that random prize will receive a massive $500 thanks to Allports.
Wow, cool. And that'd certainly be an awesome way to give back to one lucky person heading into Christmas time as well. So thank you to Allports for that. And again, once again, because you've just been blowing our minds, for your continued support for us here at SuperCars NZ. Certainly, if you're looking for anything sim related, get in touch with those guys over there at Allports. Check them out at allports.nz and see what they can do for you. Hit up Chitty, he's the man.
And up the wires.
Yeah!
Up the wires!
I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do a pukana or not by saying pukana, or whether you just poke your tongue out.
I can confirm you sounded very white there, Doug.
Very good. So I've got some lights coming up in the background there. The guys are getting ready to go and do it again.
Yeah, so they're off, and Connor getting away and immediately going over to cover Mike Robinson down into turn one. Connor holding on to that lead down there as they all make their way through Hell Corner now. Bit of side by side, might have been almost a 3 wide there somewhere, but everybody able to sort themselves out, and nice and clean so far. And how clean was the start in race one as well? Hopefully they can keep that going in this one.
Oh, it's this massive crash.
So
in turn
tight.
two.
Puff of smoke there from Connor as he appeared to hit the wall. I wonder if that and his moment into the wall at the end of race one there might be more of a netcode thing with him maybe not quite having the best internet connection over there in Australia. Might be our screens showing him, or our server showing him not quite in the position that he's actually in.
Yeah. We've got some early data here to suggest Blake crash and Craig Mason, Bruce Tannett crash also. So we'll keep watching this opening lap and see where the battles are tight, and then we will go back and have a look at what's unfolded for those gentlemen there, as Josh Banks is sitting right on the rear bumper here of Dion de Graaf for potential P3, and he's managed to glide down the inside of him there. We'll be able to see whether or not he's got enough to run it out through to the end. And Zachary there sitting in behind this group will definitely pay to be sitting in that draft. He'll get a nice run out of that. Well done, keeping it nice and clean and tidy. Taylor Mitchell here also having a looky at Daniel Heddershot. He's managed to get up alongside him, and quite a nice and keeping it very respectful spacing between those guys. Up the front after that lap one has been completed. Connor certainly hasn't been able to shake old Mike off too much. Just over half a second gap there for them. See if it looks like Taylor might take a dive into turn two. Not so much as a dive, but definitely positioned himself there.
Taylor giving space and making sure that he didn't cause contact.
Oh,
And
contact.
Taylor trying to go around the outside, and that looked very familiar.
Yes,
Looked a lot
seen
like
one
a
of
certain
those
incident
before.
in 05.
Yes.
Incredibly though,
Fortunate
he's been able to
for
keep
them.
going, and the track is not jammed tonight.
No, and the echidnas are currently still safe. I just
For
can't
now.
believe how tight these guys are still going. So this is P7 here, Taylor Mitchell, and all the way down here to P15. Rehan sitting on the back of Jack Grunwald there. Already up 2 spots, moving himself forward. Excuse me.
Yeah, Jack up 4 spots though, so great start from Jack, but I'm interested to see Rehan's progress here. He's managed to grab the fastest Sector 2 time of anybody, but other than that, he's been a little bit stuck in traffic, I think, and hasn't been able to get down those super fast lap times, so I'm interested to see how he can move through here as he's going to look to go to the outside of the kink of the chase. That'll give him the inside down into the extra chicane battle. He's going to take 2 and 1 here.
Wow.
Nicely done.
That was a big move there on Jack Grunwald, and then to capitalise on having Ryan Cottrell following through on that one as well was just something quite extraordinary to see. Roger Forbert come in for a very early pit stop here, so wondering if he might be sporting some damage that we can't see, or the car's not quite feeling right. Maybe he doesn't have enough fuel. We'll see very shortly for him. So that's Bruce Tannock that he's just driven by there in the pits as well. So whilst that's there, I'm going to have a quick look back at what happened to Blake Greenhall at the beginning. Showed crash data here. So he's actually been rotated out by, I believe, was Rehan. So that may lead to some further controversy down the line. And then we've also got Craig and Bruce Tannock coming up as crash data. Oh, yeah, well, that's not going to work. Sorry, we'll go back and have a secondary look at that with this camera angle here. So they were side by side, and Rehan looks like he might have actually been checking up there to come back. He just looked like he was a bit out of sorts. So they've nearly parked where you parked.
Yeah, they got very close. I wonder if Rehan was just attempting to redress that incident with Blake. Unfortunately, Blake had obviously dropped a few positions and looked like it might have caused a little bit of congestion, but I don't think that can really be blamed for why Bruce ended up dropping it there. Obviously, he had to try and get around Rehan, but I think just gassing it up too much and probably needed to be a little bit careful with that right
So
pedal.
yeah, so Rehan he's tried to do that. So Rehan just trying to slow up and let a few cars by. Maybe he thought Daniel Nolan was the car that he had rotated, because he sort of slipped straight back into race mode after he went by. Interesting.
I do suspect probably as Les has watched that unfold in behind, he's probably said, "Nah, just push on." Probably Les decided it was a bit too risky to keep trying to redress that, as see Bruce trying to recover it back to the pits after his incident and ultimately just towing there.
Yeah, we've got Leon Weir having a moment as well. Oh, yep, that was pretty much a Chaz Mostert, just a corner back from there. Oh, the secondary hit's certainly not going to help much on there.
I'm a bit jealous of those Simbex cars that managed to squeeze through behind. Because
Yeah.
when I tried to go behind the car that was spinning at this corner in the 1000, he didn't spin to the inside like I expected, and I crashed into the back of him.
Oh, there we go. So this is Jack Grunwald. This is he went off the track.
That is a massive hit.
So I think that's wrong data there, iRacing. Off the track, back onto the track, and then a jump to pit lane for him. And scrolling back down.
Well, he certainly went off the track.
And this is Xavier Simmons. He's had a off-track moment as well, so this is probably across the sand trap. which actually does a monumental job of arresting speed now. It's almost as if it's a proper sand trap.
Yeah, 100%. Last season that would have been a trip straight to the wall, but sand actually slows you down, and fortunately they've got the balance just right where it slows you down without you getting beached in it, which would obviously be realistic, but I don't think what anybody really wants to have to deal with getting stuck in the sand.
Yeah, it would be good. I think. I know it's probably very hard as far as a background sort of information goes, but if there was a way to, I suppose, say, set the track difficulty to allow it to be more realistic versus others, like I'm very happy with the improvement that they've got now, where if you grab the brakes and you hit the sand, you're going to come to a stop pretty much guaranteed before you hit the wall. And also coming across the grass, the car certainly has a lot more traction down there. When you're across the grass, it doesn't feel that you're sliding on an ice skating ring anymore. But yeah, just if there was a way to manually adjust the difficulty for a track, or to be a bit more realistic, so if you did dive into the sand and it was come to a stop, that you would be stopped.
Yeah, I think if they were going to do that, they'd probably have to add an option to get pulled out of the gravel without being towed all the way back to the pits, because obviously outside of Formula One, most racing categories around the world, if you do get stuck on the gravel, you can get pulled
Yes.
out under safety car and carry
Yeah.
on. So
Correct, yeah. And we've all been in that position, like you said, Shane. Nothing worse than ending up with a broken car, but worse again is when it's not too bad, but you're stuck in a wall or something. You have to tow back to the pits, and that's the next 3 to 4 minutes down the tubes.
yeah, 100%.
So while we were looking back at all that data there, Mike's still just under half a second away from young Connor here, P1 and 2. Josh Banks is still just back there in P3. You've got a similar gap margin back from Josh to Daniel. That's P4. None of these guys at the front have stopped. Rehan's made his way all the way up to P5, would you believe it? Up 12 spots.
Yeah, absolutely incredible as he comes over the start line there. So I mentioned at the end of the last one, the start line and the finish line being in a different place. Here's an interesting one that maybe our YouTube viewers can get involved in with the comments section. Does anybody actually know why that's the case? Why the start line and the finish line are in a different place?
Very good question. Yeah, actually, that's one that I'd be interesting to hear some theories, or possibly what that answer actually is.
I'll tell you now, I do know the answer. It has been covered off during Bathurst 1000 support race coverage in the past, which is how I know the answer. And we'll see if anybody out there knows the answer, and if not, I'll let you all know at the end of the race.
Nice. Cool stuff. So that battle is was certainly getting heated there for a minute, but Rehan's again once moved himself into P4, and he had the fastest lap that lap as well, a 2:03.5, which is 0.06 of a second faster than our current driver in P1 there. Simon Hedeshaw here following Eamon Young. That's P7, looking at trying to get to P6. Oh man, it's just doesn't look like it's a happening night for this gentleman here.
Oh, he's dirtied those white wheels.
Certainly has. That was a monstrous run, and he'll get a heck of a slowdown for his actions there. Alright, so we've had, I believe it's Jason, but it comes up as Alicia, but I'm pretty sure it's Jason, has made a comment in relation to the answer about the start-finish line and why there's a secondary line. Would you like me to read it out?
You can do that.
So, in answer to that question, is to ensure that cars entering the pit lane are recorded as having completed that lap.
So that's what I believe to be the case, but apparently not.
Okay, cool. So there's either additional information to that or a change. So get back to your Googles, folks, and see what you can come up with. Scott Pickering is also in there, and he's been throwing some comments around earlier. He said Dick Johnson had put the green Falcon down into the trees at Forest Elbow.
Oh, of course, yes, it was Dick Johnson. Dick Johnson came to my mind, and I was like, no, he was the Rock, but he also, was also Dick Johnson that had that incident with the end of the ball as well as the Rock. So Dick has not had the best of luck here, but obviously his team has gone on to have some incredible success around here.
That was a tidy move. There was Zachary there in the 57 car, making his move on Roger Forbert there. Sitting just behind those two, we've got Daniel Nolan and Jason Cossey having a cool wee battle together. Looking cool. Down the order, Leon following Craig Mason around. Craig certainly not on a good night for him, which is it's unfortunate to see because he's usually well and truly up there, mixing and mingling with the others. So currently down in P24 there for those guys, and Blake has already had 2 stop-throughs the pit lane, so another name further down the grid order than probably what they would like to be.
So Mike Robinson's come to pit lane, so looking to trigger the undercut on Connor Nixon, so we'll keep an eye on that one.
In and out fast too, just over 10 seconds for him. Fastest pit stop time we've actually had so far is from Zachary Vosblom there, the 8.98. So yeah, Mike come through now, so just pulling himself out of order. Lap 8 of 13, so probably no time better than that. Come through, get that splash of gas and fresh set of tyres, and then put it back into gear and hunt on for a lap. See what he can do, if he can wriggle that margin out of Connor. Peter Vanderberg up the inside, not quite with Ryan Cottrell there. Good cool battles between these guys have taken place before in the past, and these guys are currently doing it down in P16 and 17 there. Corey, have you got any quick information for us across the way, the Div 2 side, or you've not been able to check back in with them?
Yeah, no, I have. So we've got Quinn Wilson running in first place at the moment, and Dan Turner, who's up 11 spots. Tom O'Connor, who's up 7. Derek Lovegrove's obviously lost those 2 spots. He was in second earlier on. Mark Price, he's up 12. Nick Bakey, Jared Ecclestone, Caleb Beecroft, Luke Bradley, and Chris Stopovich. If I get that right, sorry, apologies if that's wrong. But that's your top 10 anyway.
There we go. So some familiar names and a few guys that have inserted themselves a bit further up the grid order. So
yeah, we've got 30 cars still running around the track.
And I believe Zapasic is the correct way to pronounce Chris's name. I think we were actually saying Zapic, and I actually received a message from, I think it was maybe his partner or relative, correcting that it was Zapasic.
yeah,
Zapasic. Alright, we got that one sus. There was another one there that caught me off guard earlier. Oh, is it Ecclestone?
Stonesy.
Yeah, just call him Stonesy.
Stonesy, yeah, there we go. Jared Stonesy, number 5.
Yep. And welcome back to Stonesy as well, if you're listening and on the stream later on. It's good to have you back, and that you're back out there mixing it with those guys. So best of luck for you for your season, buddy. We'll see how you get on. Keep your head clear. You should be able to go and shake those guys at the top again.
So Connor's been able to actually create a little bit of a gap on Mike Robinson through that pit stop phase, and
He did. He had a pretty quick time as well, quicker than Mike by just over 400ths of a second. So it was
4/10ths of a second.
we'll go with that. 4/10ths of a second. Yep. I need a wee sticky note on what the breakdowns of that is.
You could have just said 0.4.
I should just stick with simple stuff, eh?
Yeah. But Connor leading by over a second and a half now, so that time would have made a little bit of difference, but obviously good in and out lap from Connor. Maybe Mike not quite getting those tyres up to temperature as quickly as he would have liked, and Connor's been able to create that gap and got the fresher tyres on by 1 lap now, so Mike will really have to work to close that gap down and try and challenge for the lead.
Here we go. So, here we go. I've got a couple other comments to touch upon while some battles are taking place here. Would you believe it? Les is not doing crew chief for Rehan tonight.
Wow.
And you're probably going to turn around and say something along the lines of, but I saw Rehan had a person come and spectator with him and his name was Laseth, so it must be his dad. So everyone at home's nodding, going, okay, yep, thanks Shane for letting us know that Doug was wrong.
I certainly wasn't going to say that.
But I will turn around and correct you all by saying that we had a comment pop up saying Les isn't available to crew chief tonight for Rehan, so Mum is making her crew chief debut.
Oh, good stuff.
Well, Mum's doing a good job.
Mum is doing a fantastic job, a monstrous recovery there, 14 spots up. Get back onto final podium step for the feature race this evening. So, well done, Mum. That's extreme. I think I might be right in saying that. Is it Mum's the Kiwi or is it Grandmum's the Kiwi?
I think Mum's the Kiwi.
Someone's mum's a Kiwi.
Grandmum's in New Zealand, I think, and I think Mum is.
That's the one. Yeah. Shout out to the family. Cool bunch of people. And also with that, we've had additional information come through in regard to the start-finish line conundrum. And that was big.
What shooter side was that? Simon or?
It was Simon, yep.
Wow.
So Alicia is, and I'm going to refer to him as Alicia now because he's trying to say something else further down the bottom there to try and trip me up. So Alicia has added on further information to suggest no, nothing further to add. It was just a bit of hot information, nothing to do with the completion of the lap. It just said, for anyone that didn't know, Dick Johnson actually raced in NASCAR at the Thunderdome Oval Track in Australia.
He sure did.
And Upton is pronounced Uptown as well.
Oh, look, there's a couple of cars in Division 2 and they have got up the wires on their windows and their wings.
Oh, that's awesome.
They must be big supporters of Allports, because obviously that's where they've gone for their sim racing needs. And for everything else.
Croston Jenkins, and so it's a simability crew.
Yep. There we go. Let's bring up some data for the folks and see if there's anything that can be spotted that I'm not seeing.
So Rehan's managed to claw his way back onto the podium, 12-second gap to make up to get to those top two at the moment, so probably a bridge too far to see him climbing any further with just a couple of laps to go, I think.
Alright, here we go. this could be the winning answer. Scott Pickering has turned around and said it's so 1,000 laps divides nicely.
No. That was a theory that was mentioned on Twitter when the commentators at Bathurst talked about it, but that's not the correct answer either.
And sorry, Jay, he's just put a comment on here saying, "Can I stop turning off the timing tower? It's so annoying." I can certainly try, but I can't guarantee anything because I find sometimes when the battles are getting close together that the timing tower obscures the cars on the screen from racing and covering up all their awesome sponsorships and stuff that they've worked so hard for to put on the side of the car.
Maybe just try and do better at remembering to turn it back on when you're done with that.
Okay. I can certainly try, Jay, but I'm just a simple man. I don't get paid to do this. It's just here for the love and the fun. But take it on board, and I'll improve moving forward. Thank you. Jason has added to the start-finish line debacle, and that's so we don't have to listen to Mark Scaife for an extra second.
I like that one.
Is it something to do with the way the start, where the cars start so far back?
Well, that's why the start line's where it is. Obviously, we end up with cars starting around the corner as well, but it is to help get as many cars onto the pit straight as possible. But there is another reason for why the finish line is where it is.
Is it just somebody stuffed up?
No,
Just
actually,
taken the wrong lines?
is quite a common thing at a lot of circuits around the world. You'll see quite often with Formula One, the start line and the finish lines at a different place.
But I'm not going to revert to Google because I feel like that will just tell me.
Okay, great move there. Liam Jacobs around the outside there. Ryan Cottrell. Oh, not giving enough room.
Oh,
Final lap, is it?
Come together.
yeah, the leader has started the final lap, so those guys still have another lap to go around after they've come across the line here. But Connor is coming up through the mountain now on his final lap. Dan Nolan there in the Shark car. Got Danoda just behind him. So Dane trying to put the pressure on. Still a bit of a gap between those guys at the moment.
Sorry for the momentary silence there, which I'm sure you were both lapping up. I was just sending a quick message reply to Jay and just let him know that if there was anyone in particular that he's following from the racing as well, just to let us know, and we can do our best to see how they're getting on and click on them from time to time and give them some infos.
Connor coming into the final corner now as you just clicked on him. Good timing there, Doug.
Certainly was. I could feel your heavy breath in the background building. There he is. So, sorry, Jay, I'm just going to turn the timing tower off, mate, just so we can appreciate the goodness. That's Connor. Mike Robinson there, and here comes Rehan. Well, it's going to line up Connor. Not quite.
Yeah, some
Well
awesome
done
recovery drive
to-
in that second race from Rehan to climb back up to third position there.
Yeah, great drive for the podium. Dion DeGraaf coming through turn one sideways. Josh Banks finishing there in P4. Daniel Heddershot there 6 over Eamon Young. Zachary Simon Heddershot, the brother, taking out spot number 9, and Brody Scott in car 212 running out the top 10 there. So great racing by all of those guys. Roger Forbird in 11th, Dan Nolan 12th, Ryan Cottrell 13th, Peter Vanderberg up 5 to finish 14th there. Awesome. Dane's out, finished where he started, P15. Liam Jacobs has gone up 12 into 16. That's a great result for him. Xavier Simmons was there briefly there, 17th. Up 12 spots for him also. Shane McLeod up 4, MRX entry into P18. Cole Buchan's just disappeared, P19 for him. Stefan Adams, happy days, coming around the final corner for him, up 5 into 20. And Craig Mason just rolling by Leon Ware, who I think might have just run out of gas, or he's given that one back to Craig at the end. Not too sure. And Mackenzie Stewart finishing up his lap there, down 11 spots to P23. And believe it or not, that did say Allports on the side of the car at one point. So what we don't get to enjoy anymore is taking a quick brief rewind back to the new gravel trap physics. Is anyone coming around the final lap to go and do what was the monumentous jump over the gravel trap tyres at the end of the chase? We don't get that anymore.
No, it's very sad, that, isn't it? We do have a final top 10 from the Division 2 boys.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations, Quinn Wilson, on taking out the first position. Derek Lovegrove, Gerald, well, there we go, Stonesy,
Yeah.
rounding out the podium. Nick Bakey just missing out on a podium there by half a second. So that must have been a close battle for them at the end. Caleb Beecroft, Trent Bennett, I think he was up about 17 spots, he was. Tom O'Connor, Daniel Turner, Mark Price, and Bill Kilgore. Go Bill, rounding out your top 10 from Division 2.
Wow, there we go. Awesome stuff. Thanks for that update there, Corey. Certainly a nice one to have, because we do have a lot of people asking from week to week, what was the results from the other group and this and the next thing. So that's been a nice addition to tonight's stream. So thank you for taking the time to pop in and out and do that and get that info for us, buddy.
Yeah, no worries. I found myself getting a little bit lost in watching what they were up to and letting you guys do your normal thing.
That's very good. Much appreciate it. So, Shane, I'll let you round out tonight for us, mate. I'm going to go and stretch my legs and quickly go and throw some of that horrible beer in the fridge for Sean for Thursday. So, thank you to all at home, and here's Shane with the sign-off.
Yeah, just before we do go, the answer to the question about why the finish line is where it is, it's all to do with where race control is. So in the event that the timing fails and they have to revert to manual timing, race control need to have a clear view of where the start-finish line is. The start-finish line has to line up to race control, so that's why it is where it is. And obviously at tracks like this one where that's quite far back on the pit straight, it needs to start line needs to be further up to allow more cars to be on the pit straight. So that's why there's that offset there.
That's an incredibly logical answer and makes a lot of sense when you speak about it. So thank you for that that final update there on that one, Shano, and I'll let you do the shout out to our sponsors and fans and bring us to a close.
Yeah, thanks everybody for joining us. Thanks Allports for coming on board for yet another season. This season supporting the V8s and focusing very much on that, and great to have your support with that. Cheers, Doug, for joining. Cheers, I'll say that again, I'll speak English. Cheers, Doug, for joining me here in the broadcasting lounge, and we will see everybody next Tuesday for round 2, and don't forget to tune in Thursday night with Wayne and Sean in here for the opening round of the GT3s.
Very good. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.